Sand does not shine. It does not bend to human will. It does not glow in darkness. It lies still beneath rivers and forests, silent and ordinary. And yet, for centuries, in the forests of Central Europe, men forced sand to become light. Not with machines, not with digital precision, not with thermometers or chemical formulas, but with breath, with fire, with memory. This is the story of the Glassmakers of Bohemia, a land now known as part of the Czech Republic, and how they mastered one of the most unpredictable materials on earth. It is not simply a story about glass. It is a story about discipline, about restraint, about the quiet power of repetition, and about how humans learn to control fire without being consumed by it. In the late Middle Ages, Bohemia was thick with forests, towering pines, cold rivers, clearing smoke rising between trees. The land sat within the vast territories of the Holy Roman Empire, politically complex, economically growing, and rich in natural resources. Bohemia possessed two things essential to glassmaking: silica sand and endless wood. Wood meant fuel, fuel meant heat, heat meant transformation. Glassmaking did not begin in Bohemia. It had ancient roots in Egypt and Rome, but here, in the quiet forests, it evolved because the forest provided isolation, and isolation allowed experimentation. Glass workshops were not built in cities. They were built at forest edges, close to fuel, close to sand, far from distraction. The forest became furnace. Before we step inside the workshop, we must understand what glass is. Glass is not stone. It is not crystal in the geological sense. It is superheated silica, melted sand, cooled so quickly that its molecules never return to ordered structure. It is frozen liquid. To create it, sand must reach temperatures above 1,100 degrees Celsius. In modern factories, this is easy. In the 1400s, it was nearly impossible. Wood-fired furnaces struggled to maintain consistent heat. The fire had to breathe. Airflow had to be controlled manually. The color of flame became measurement. Deep orange, bright yellow, white-hot shimmer. Glassmakers learned to read heat with their eyes. There were no gauges, no digital displays, only observation and intuition. Step inside. The air is thick. Smoke clings to beams above. A furnace dominates the room, a stone structure roaring with heat. Its opening glows like the mouth of a star. Men move carefully around it. Not quickly, not casually, every motion measured. A long metal blowpipe rests against the furnace wall. Its tip dips into molten glass, glowing amber, viscous like honey. The glass gathers at the end, a glowing mass of possibility. The glassblower steps back. He inhales and breathes into the pipe. The molten glass expands. A bubble forms, fragile, perfect, alive. He rotates constantly because gravity is always working. Glass will sag. It will collapse if ignored. The body must move in rhythm. This is not brute strength. It is choreography. Fire, breath, rotation. Glass does not forgive impatience. Too hot, it slumps. Too cool, it cracks. The glassmaker returns the piece to the furnace repeatedly, reheating, shaping, cooling, reheating again. Timing is everything. 1 second too long in flame and the bubble distorts. 1 second too short and it stiffens beyond correction. They learned heat by color. They learned readiness by resistance. The glass spoke, not with words, but through behavior, and the glassmaker listened. This was knowledge passed through watching, not reading. Watching. On the work table lie simple tools: wooden paddles, metal shears, iron rods, molds worn smooth by decades of use. No notebooks, no blueprints, no written formulas for temperature ratios. Recipes were memorized, mixtures adjusted by feel. Ash from certain trees produced better results. Wood burned differently depending on moisture. The forest influenced clarity, Everything was interconnected. Knowledge lived in hands, not pages. Once shaped, the glass could not simply cool in open air. If cooled too quickly, it would shatter. Internal stress builds invisibly. Cooling required its own chamber, an annealing oven. The temperature lowered slowly over hours, sometimes days. Even then, cracks appeared, sharp lines splitting perfection. Failure was common. No applause followed success. No dramatic collapse followed failure. Just silence. And beginning again. By the 16th and 17th centuries, Bohemian glass gained a reputation across Europe. It was clearer, harder, more brilliant in candlelight than Venetian glass. Its composition allowed deeper engraving, greater sparkle. Nobles demanded it. Merchants transported it across kingdoms. Glass made in forest workshops sat on royal tables. From humble furnace to aristocratic banquet, prestige was born from control, not decoration. Control of heat, control of patience, control of self. A boy enters the workshop. He does not blow glass immediately. He watches. He carries wood. He observes flame color. He studies rotation speed. Years pass before he shapes his own vessel. Mistakes are expected. Mastery is not rushed. The master corrects posture with a touch, not a lecture. Learning is embodied. It cannot be downloaded. It must be absorbed through repetition, through failure, through heat. The forest was not background. It was partner. Without wood, there was no heat. Without heat, no glass. Entire regions were shaped by this relationship. Workshops relocated when forests thinned. Nature dictated production. Glass was born of trees and sand and human persistence. Burns were common, eyes strained, lungs filled with smoke. This was not romantic work. It was harsh, demanding, repetitive. Yet something remarkable happened. The repetition created calm. The furnace roared, but the glassmaker remained steady, breathing evenly, turning steadily, waiting patiently. Discipline became internal fire. Eventually, factories emerged. Coal replaced wood. Thermometers replaced guesswork. Industrialization accelerated production, but something changed. Efficiency improved. Intimacy faded. Where once a single vessel represented hours of focused attention, now hundreds could be produced daily. Progress brought convenience, but it also removed risk. And with risk, a certain depth. Today, the Czech Republic still produces crystal. Technology ensures consistency. Yet the legacy of Bohemia remains deeper than material. It teaches restraint. It teaches attention. It teaches that mastery is quiet. In an age of speed, the furnace offers a different lesson. Slow down. Observe. Repeat. Heat without panic. Cool without rushing. Sand becomes light when discipline outlasts discomfort. Sand does not glow unless we force it to, unless we commit to learning its limits, unless we accept failure as teacher. In the forests of Bohemia, men learn that control is not domination. It is partnership with heat, with material, with time. The furnace is long silent in many of those forests, but glass remains, clear, hard, brilliant. A reminder that the most fragile things in life often require the greatest discipline, and that even ordinary sand can become light in the hands of those who refuse to blink.